What's up, adventurers? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, The Green Knight. This is my co-host, Bartholomew. And tonight we're diving into r/NeckBeard stories. Sometimes there's nothing to be done for your neckbeard friends, and the best thing to do is to cut them out of your life. I like to hope that most neckbeards can be cured, but sometimes it's just better for your own mental health to distance yourself from those people. And that's the kind of story that Bartholomew has pulled up for me today. Obligatory disclaimer, neckbeards are icky and gross, and they can do icky and gross things. But with that being said, let's dive on into tonight's story. From user LeastAD9741, I had to abandon a friend who became a neckbeard. I'm writing this story because a lot has happened over the past month or so, and I need to get it off my chest. TLDR at the end. Trigger warning, mentions of SA, transphobia, and general creepiness. Yeah, like I said before, neckbeards are creepy and gross, and do creepy and gross things. So, this one friend group of mine had a guy who was, not the most ordinary person, let's say. For the sake of the story, let's call him Johnny. Johnny is on the spectrum, and he was clearly struggling with a lot of things behind the scenes. Like every time he lost a round of his favorite gun game, he'd punch his desk till his hands were bleeding, even if it was a casual game mode. He also had a pretty bad self-esteem issues, calling me an alpha because I like gym and martial arts, but calling himself a low-value male because he didn't. All of this done completely unironically, by the way. He's on incel forums. I'll have to dive into incel tiers one day, but all this alpha, low value, beta, sigma stuff, it's all bullshit. It's just cope. If you want to make yourself a better person, you can do it. That's why I say drink water, do some push-ups. It's easy. I mean, it's not easy. It does take work and it takes dedication, but you can do it. You can pull yourself out of a hole. You don't have to fester. But despite me offering to take him to the gym or a Mai Tai taster session multiple times, he refused. Yeah, he doesn't want help. He also didn't want to seek professional help about the whole desk punching thing because in his eyes, that would make him weak. The entire friend group desperately wanted to help Johnny, and we'd spend a lot of time supporting him in whatever way we could. One of the people in this group, let's call her Goose, even had the idea to make a separate chat where the rest of the friend group would talk in private about the best ways to aid this guy's mental health. But as you could probably guess from the title of this post, things didn't go exactly as planned. And you can't help but feel bad for him a little bit because sometimes people just refuse the help that they desperately need. They get on these echo chamber incel forums and they feel like they can't change. They feel like they're doomed to be a loser forever, and they refuse the help that could change their lives. And it's like they want to be pitied, and it's really hard to watch when people go down that route. Another dilemma Johnny had with his life was that he had a crush on this girl, but was too afraid to ask her out. All things considered, he'd lucked out pretty well because this girl was 1, in his class, 2, went to the same societies as him, and 3, was confirmed to play the same video games as him. Okay, he's got some stuff in common. I don't know what the same societies mean. Like, what is he, a Freemason? There were a lot of ways he could have gone about this. All he had to do was take the initiative. Night after night, Johnny would ask us for help in the voice chat, and we'd spend ages suggesting to him different ways he could start a conversation with her. And the reason I say night after night was because no matter how much advice he was given, he would never actually do it. We would hand him a fully scripted convo, shaped by every single "what should I do" question he ever threw at us, and nothing would come of it. What he did do, however, was begin to stalk her. Oh, that's not the way to go.
Oh no! Oh no!
He found a photo of her from secondary school on Google and would proudly tell us about how he had it saved on his phone and his PC wallpaper, etc., etc. Obviously, we told him to get rid of it, to which he would always respond with a bunch of, "Why?" We were lenient on him because of the aforementioned mental health and autism, and calmly explained to him how it would be seen as creepy for him to have this photo of a person he hadn't even spoken to. Even if he did get it from a Google search, anyone could do. Even if you were friends on Facebook and you saved a bunch of her photos, that's still creepy. Like, having a photo of someone on your phone who you are not intimately acquainted with, like who you're not actually friends with, it's just creepy. Every time he'd say he understood and tell us that he'd delete it, only for him to reveal a while later that he still had it. He even sent it to the group chat at one point, and it took another whole ass debate for him to unsend it. To my knowledge, he still has the photo downloaded. Johnny would also start to say gross things at random, like, I have a big booger, and I haven't showered in 2 weeks, and my balls are crusty. Ugh, fucking gross. Actually, unaltered quotes, by the way. Yeah, why do people not like showering? I don't understand. I think showering feels amazing, and I guess that's one of the NeckBeard traits that I never shared with them, was I actually really like being clean. At first, we thought he was just trying to troll us. But when we asked him if he was after he said the booger thing, he sent us a photo of his nose gold rather than giving us a simple no. Dude, looking back at it, thank fuck we didn't ask him if he was trolling after he talked about his balls. Yeah, a nice fucking smegma photo? That would be fucking disgusting. I told him that I don't think his crush would like a dude who doesn't shower and talks about his boogers. To which he replies, well, what if she's into that stuff? No one is into that stuff. Yeah, like step number 1, for all neckbeards looking to get a girlfriend, take a shower. Take 3 showers. It's not attractive to be stinky. And don't use that whole my male musk thing, because that's not a thing anymore. Like, we don't use pheromones to communicate anymore. We have evolved beyond that. That's what perfumes and colognes are for now. Oh, people get this animalistic behavior thing in their head, but it doesn't apply to human beings anymore. At this point, red flags are starting to show. Dude, it's like a communist parade how many red flags he's shown. And the friend group gets a bit more confrontational. We tell him to stop with this stuff and fix up his act. But he always dodges with either more why questions, usually about stuff that we explained to him several times already, or spouting random World War II trivia since he's obsessed with that stuff. Okay, there's nothing wrong with being interested in history, but if he's interested in Mustache Man, that's also a red flag. We keep letting him know his behavior is disgusting and start teasing him about it, calling him a creep, and saying stuff like, I miss Johnny. It's a shame John had to take over his body and turn him into a gooner, or whatever. But things only got worse. Later on, Johnny tries to justify the R word. No, I didn't skip anything between the last paragraph and this one. It was completely out of nowhere and still has the whole friend group kind of shook. He puts on this weird-ass young Sheldon, interesting act as he deliberates the morality of whether or not you should assault his crush. When we tell him that that is bad, yeah, you guessed it, he does the why routine all over again. Except it's 200 times more sickening given the subject matter. He says the most messed up things, like when I tell him he has to respect her feelings, he says, respect is something to be earned. Eventually, me and another guy in the group have to threaten to assault him if he assaults the girl, which shuts him up immediately. Yeah, turn the tables on him, pull an Uno reverse.
Well. How the turntables...
After this, I tell the others that I'm done with Johnny. I had hope he'd be able to become a better person, but it's safe to say my hope was misplaced. They're pretty much on the same page as me, but decide to give him one final chance since he was a longtime friend of theirs. I change my mind and decide to go along with the rest of my friends, albeit very cautiously. And to my surprise, Johnny actually shows signs of changing. He admits it's okay to not he okay. I guess not be okay? Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to say there. He takes Goose's advice to make a spreadsheet to chart his mental health, and he starts showering regularly. Only for him to revert back to his previous vile behavior when we least expected it. I'm done being nice. I tell him straight up that he's a waste of space who doesn't care to learn, and he is turning his entire friend group against him. He says that he learns many things, to which I recount the whole R-word debate incident, but because I said the name of the girl, he ignores my entire message and just goes, "Oh my god, insert name girl mentioned," before proceeding to spam the chat with her name. I tell him one final time that he's losing his friends with his own actions, to which he responds, "What am I losing you to?" I leave the chat and block Johnny on everything. Good. This guy sounds like an absolute piece of trash. A few days later, everyone else takes a page out of my book and cuts contact with that creep. Even Goose, who was the most lenient with him and was trying the hardest to help. And that's because Goose is a trans woman and Johnny refused to respect her identity. That's not cool. I mean, nothing this guy has done is cool, so I can't act surprised. To make things worse, Goose and Johnny are longtime friends of around 10 years, and she's been out as trans for 3 years. But he still tells her how she's not a real woman and refuses to budge. According to him, if men and women were something decided by choice, then the rules of society would collapse. Which is fucking ironic coming from the R-word justifier. As of now, the chat that was meant to help out Johnny is our main group chat, and the only time he's ever mentioned is when someone pokes fun at his god-awful behavior. We're considering warning the girl that he's stalking about him. Yes, do that. But none of us have her contacts, and given how much of a coward he is, it's unlikely he'll do anything. Don't bank on that. It's only a matter of time until he escalates. Someone with that kind of gross mindset, maybe he never will, but if he does and you didn't say anything, then it's also kind of on you.
You had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
TLDR, friend becomes total creep, tries to justify R-word, and acts transphobic towards a longtime friend trying to help him. Update! I've alerted the school about him. Good. Okay, good. Alright, what do the comments say? I feel like you should definitely warn the girl and provide any written text you have from him to her so that she can get a restraining order at least. Also offer to speak with the police if needed on her behalf. Yes. Oh, and OP replies, I'll do that right away. Unfortunately, I don't have any written text after leaving the chat and blocking Johnny, but I will ask around to get her details and tell her to watch out for him. Yeah, like I said, you don't know what he's capable of and where the mental illness is going to take him. I like to have hope that all neckbeards can be cured, but this person is clearly very mentally distressed. And not just because of the autism. Like, a lot of people have autism and don't behave like this or try and justify horrible actions like that. This guy is definitely a danger to both himself and other people, and you need to warn people about him. And I'm glad you guys were all able to cut contact with him and get him out of your friend group. Some destructive forums, some echo chambers that just encourage people to think this way. And that's how you end up with guys like Elliot Rodger. So good on you for getting out, and good on you for warning authority figures and this girl about him, because he might do something dangerous. You don't want that on your conscience. So anyway, this has been kind of a heavy episode. I hope you guys, I don't want to say enjoyed, maybe enjoyed is not the right term, but I hope you guys found it interesting. And if you did, please hit like and subscribe and stick around until next time. I think I'm going to alternate between NeckBeards and RPG horror stories, because the RPG horror stories tend to be a little lighter in subject matter for my own sanity, to keep things a little even-keeled. And anyway, don't let this guy poison the well of neckbeard recovery for you. Neckbeards can be helped. Most of them will outgrow it or will realize the error of their ways. And that's why I'm here. That's why I want to encourage. Drink some water, do some push-ups, and stay safe till next time.